Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. If you have an eviction, rental collection, or negative rental history showing up on your credit report or your tenant screening report, it can feel like every apartment is already rejecting you before you even apply. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to start removing evictions and rental history the right way, step by step. But here's what most people don't understand. Just because something is reporting does not automatically mean it's reporting accurately or completely. So if the information is inaccurate, unverifiable, or outdated, you may have the right to challenge it. So in this video, I'm going to break down how evictions and rental debts show up, what you need to do when you're looking at them, what documents you need to gather, and how to dispute the information. We'll also cover what to do if the credit bureaus or tenant screening companies come back and say it was verified. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, before you try to remove an eviction from your credit report or your rental history, the first thing you need to understand is where the eviction is actually reporting. An eviction can show up in a few different places. It may appear on a tenant screening report, in public county court records, and sometimes indirectly on your credit report if your landlord sent the unpaid rent, fees, or property damages to a collection agency. These negative records can usually remain visible to the landlords, property managers, and screening companies for up to 7 years, depending on where the information is being reported. So first, let's talk about the tenant screening reports. Tenant screening companies like CoreLogic, SafeRent, TransUnion, and other rental background check companies collect information specifically for landlords and property managers. When a landlord runs your rental history, these companies may show eviction filings, court judgments, case outcomes, and other rental related records. So even if the eviction is not showing up on your regular credit report, it may still be showing on a tenant screening report. Second, evictions can appear in public court records. Most evictions start as a civil lawsuit, often called unlawful detainers. Once a landlord files the case in court or once a judge issues a judgment, that information can become part of the public court record. That means landlords, screening companies, and property managers may be able to find the eviction by searching local civil court records. For example, if you're in the Las Vegas area, you can search public court cases through the Las Vegas Justice Court Record Portal. Third, let's talk about credit reports. The eviction itself usually doesn't show up as an eviction on your consumer credit report. However, if your former landlord sends unpaid rent, damages, or other charges to a collection agency, then that collection account can show up on your credit report. So when you're trying to remove eviction-related information, you need to check all three places: your tenant screening reports, your public court records, and your credit report. This step is important because you can't properly dispute or remove that information until you know exactly where it's being reported and what company or court is reporting it. To remove an eviction collection from your credit report, you want to refer back to my collection removal video. That will guide you through the process of removing that account from your report. I'm going to link that video right here. And if you want to remove that collection, don't forget to check out Rising. Rising is a place where you can go to dispute inaccurate information. It's going to be for $1, and there is a 7-day trial that you can check out right now. There will be a link in the description. There will also be a clickable link here on screen. Now, that still leaves us with public court county records and tenant screening reports. Now, the first thing I would do is check public access portals for the local justice or district court database that is in your county. That is a great place to start. If you don't see it there, that's awesome. Then there probably isn't any information to worry about. If it is there, then here's what you should do. If you're trying to remove an eviction from public record, it requires either sealing or expunging the court case or disputing inaccurate filings. Now, sealing hides the record from public view while expunging destroys it. To seal or expunge an eviction, you want to gather court documents and ensure that your case actually qualifies. Now, in Nevada, eviction records are automatically sealed in certain situations, such as if the eviction was dismissed, or if the tenant prevailed, or if the tenant filed an affidavit and the landlord did not file a formal complaint within 31 days. Otherwise, you will need to petition the court to seal the record. Now, in order to do this, you need to file a motion, which would mean, number one, obtain a copy of your eviction case number and documents. Number two, you want to fill out a verified motion to seal eviction form. Number three, you want to file the motion at the court where the eviction actually was processed. Number 4, you need to notify the landlord. Now, you are required to send a copy of your filed motion to your former landlord, and they typically have 10 days to respond to that motion. Number 5, after waiting the required days, you will file a request for submission and a proposed order to the judge. Now, if approved, the judge signs the order, officially sealing the public record. Now, sealing is typically the only viable option rather than actual expungement, as most states, including Nevada, will restrict public access to the case instead of just destroying the actual court file. To remove an eviction from public record for inaccurate filing, you must formally petition the court to expunge or vacate the case and dispute the error with the tenant screening agencies, which we will discuss next. But because eviction laws and procedures are localized, the process requires specific steps for your county. So even though I've been talking about this and I kept saying like Nevada and I'm referring to my county, your county would actually be different, but the steps should kind of be the same. Now, what's required in those steps, it will be specific to your county, so you will have to do some additional research. When disputing tenant screening reports, the process is similar to disputing items on your credit report. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, a tenant screening company is required to investigate disputes and remove any information that is inaccurate or cannot be verified within 30 days. And with that being said, I'll show you exactly how we're going to dispute these companies. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is go to www.successwithstevensmith.com. You'll want to go to the very top of the screen and click on free products. When you scroll down, you're going to find an option here that says Eviction Dispute Kit, Tenant Screening and Credit Report Dispute Guide. You'll want to download that. And if you want to download the Fair Credit Reporting Act PDF, this one was revised in March of 2026. You can download that, or both of these rather, completely for free. So we're going to add this to cart, and then we're going to click on checkout. You'll then be asked to enter your email address, and then you'll also have to enter your first name, last name, and address, as well as your city, state, and zip code. Once your order is complete, you will receive a confirmation like this. You'll then go to the email that you put here, and then your download should be at the email. So you should get something that looks like this. It'll say your download is ready. You'll then want to click the link, and then you'll be brought to the download option here. You're going to click on download, and then you will have the file. All right, now let's go through this. So this will be the Eviction Dispute Kit. That way you can challenge inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable eviction records on tenant screening reports and credit reports. Now, depending on what you're looking at, you'll send this 2 different ways. So if you're disputing an eviction that is a collection account, you will dispute that through Rising. I'm going to link my collection removal video right here. That is how you're going to remove this. So very briefly, let's go over the eviction dispute workflow. So number 1, you want to pull your tenant screening report. You have to actually get the specific consumer report from the company that's actually reporting this information. Number 2, you want to identify exactly which report contains that eviction, and you do not want to dispute with any company that's not reporting this information. Number 3, you want to send the tenant screening eviction dispute letter that we're going to talk about in 1 second, and you would send this to each tenant screening company that's reporting the eviction, including some identification documents. Number 4, if they verify the eviction without sending you documentation, that's when we're going to send a follow-up letter. We'll discuss that again in 1 moment. And for number 5, after the eviction is deleted from the tenant screening report, you can dispute the same eviction with Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, but you would only do that if it's still showing up on your credit report after you tried the collection removal method. Then, if the credit bureau still verifies the eviction without supporting documentation, we have a final follow-up letter that we will send. All right, so let's talk about the common tenant screening companies that can actually report this information. Now, more than likely, this will be one of the companies that are reporting your eviction. You can start with CIC, that is Contemporary Information Corp. I have their website here. You guys can click on that link. You can even call if you need to. There's also CoreLogic Rental Property Solutions. Once again, you want to go to their website and get the report, or give them a phone call if you're having issues retrieving it. That way they can send it to you. Then you have Experian Rent Bureau. That's experian.com/rent bureau. The website number is also here. Then you have First Advantage Advantage Resident Solutions. You can go to their website or give them a call if need be. Then there is RealPage Leasing Desk, realpage.com. And then you can check Screening Reports Inc. That's going to be screeningreports.com. Their number is here as well. Then there is TransUnion Rental Screening /Smart Move. That's mysmartmove.com. And once again, the phone number is here for you. Now, one of these companies more than likely is going to be reporting this. It is your job first to identify which ones are doing it, or if it's only like, one, then great. If it's none of them, then that's kind of weird. Just worry about removing that collection, but you definitely want to check out all of these. So let's talk about what you need to include with this dispute. You want to include a copy of your government ID or your driver's license. You also want to show proof of the current address. I would also add a copy of the report that you pulled. Now, if you have any other supporting documentation that you want to add, then you can do that. Like, for example, if you work something out with the original landlord and the information was actually paid off and you weren't supposed to have that reporting, then definitely go ahead and do that. But other than that, this is really the only things that you would need. Now, there's going to be two different timing guides for this particular dispute process. The first one is going to be 30-day reinvestigation window. Now, that's going to be for your round one dispute. Now, if they verify this information, you then have the 15-day method of verification. They have 15 days to respond to that follow-up letter. Now, let's talk about this dispute letter. Now, this will be the letter, and you guys can remove this right here, like the eviction record dispute with the RE. You can remove this and just put the eviction name, the case number. If there's an account number, you want to put that information, and then the tenant screening company that you're going to actually be sending this dispute to. So the letter will say, "To whom it may concern, I am writing to formally dispute the accuracy, completeness, and verifiability of the alleged eviction information your company is reporting. I recently disputed the same information with the consumer reporting agencies, and I was informed that this item was verified through your company." That's going to be whichever company that you're disputing. "I do not agree that this item has been properly verified, and I am requesting that your company conduct an investigation into this matter. Please provide copies of all documents, records, and evidence your company used to report or verify this alleged eviction, including." Now, this is going to be a lot of information that we're asking for, and most likely they will not be able to produce it. So number one, the original lease or rental agreement with my signature. Number two, any eviction complaint, summons, judgment, or court records that are connected to the alleged eviction. Number three, any ledger with balances, statements, or itemized accounting related to the alleged matter. Number four, the full name and address of the original property owner, landlord, or management property. Number five, the date of filing, the court name, the case number, and final disposition. Number six, the specific identifying information used to match this alleged eviction to me. Number seven, the method of verification used when this item was reported as verified to the credit bureaus. And number eight, any contracts, assignments, or authority showing your company has the right to report this information about me. This should be mailed, once again, certified mail, to these companies. Now, the rest of this letter you can read here. I just want to give you like the main points of it, but you would type your name or sign your name at the bottom. And then we're going to look at letter number two. Let's just say that for whatever reason, they didn't delete the information and we have to follow up. This would be your follow-up letter. Now, to whom it may concern, I recently received notice from your company stating that the alleged eviction information appearing on my consumer report was verified. I'm writing to formally dispute that verification and to request a complete description of the methods and procedures used to verify this item. This is my second written request regarding this alleged eviction to date. I have not received any supporting documents from your company, the rental company, the landlord, the property management company, or any other furnisher showing that the alleged eviction is accurate, complete, legally reportable, and properly matched to me. Now, it goes on to say that the response should include at minimum the name, the address, the telephone numbers of every furnisher or source that was contacted regarding this alleged eviction, the date that each source was contacted, the specific method used. More than likely, in most instances, these companies don't have time to individually go and contact all of these people one by one about each individual, all right? They usually don't. So this information is very hard to come by, not to mention they have 15 days, right? And that's going going to be per 15 USC subsection 1681 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That will give them those 15 days where they need to actually fulfill this request. And if they do not, the information needs to be deleted. Now, I'm moving on to letter number 3, but letter number 3 is really for the credit bureaus. Now, this will be a situation where if you follow the steps to remove a collection, all right, you did that, you went to rising.com, you sent this information. You will then submit a new request and you will send the body of this letter. Now, I'm not going to go through this because more than likely, in most cases, it will be removed with a collection removal method. If not, then you can copy and paste the body of this for all of these, just so that you know, put it in your own words or restate it or rephrase it or rewrite it in some way. Don't make them all the exact same, right? But this is what you would send to the credit bureaus. And again, you can send this through the Rising Dispute Hub. Then if they still don't remove it, there is a follow-up letter that you can use. You would then send the body of this with the information from the collection account, and then that will be it. Now, if they delete the eviction, that is great. That's exactly what we wanted. I would save that deletion result and I would use that as proof for any other agency or credit bureau or anybody else that's reporting that information to then remove it. If they verify without documentation, of course you follow up, you ask them, how did you verify this? Prove it. Same thing that we just did with those other letters, right? If the problem continues, I would escalate this to your state attorney general or speak with a consumer rights attorney. Those would be your final steps. Now, once again, as far as evictions on your credit report, more than likely, if you follow the collection removal video, you go to Rising, you sign up, and you actually remove that information, you should be good. When it comes to every other way, as far as the courts, you'll have to deal with that in your county. But when it comes to tenant screening reports, you can dispute this information very similar to any other credit reporting agency, and you should be able to see good results if you stay on top of it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and that is how you attack evictions in negative rental history the right way. Now, you need to know where the information is reporting, you need to know who's reporting it, and whether or not they can actually verify what they are putting on your consumer reports. If they can't prove it, or if the information is incomplete, or if they are violating your rights, then you have a reason to keep challenging it. And if this is something that you're dealing with right now, do not stop after one dispute. Build your paper trail, keep copies of everything, follow up when necessary, and be willing to escalate if they refuse to correct or delete information that cannot be properly verified. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the links in the description for the tools and resources that I recommended throughout this video. That way you can start this dispute process step by step. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day.